Welcome back to another video, guys. And today we're going to do another review, but this time it's going to be on the Digital Essentials Wireless Pro Controller for Switch. Now you can use this for not only the Nintendo Switch, but also the PC and also Android. And so I'm going to show you how to sync it to an actual Switch system, excuse me, get my word together, and also a Android device. So with that being said, let's hop right into this review right after the drop. Alrighty, so a couple things to know about this controller before we even pop it open. This does have a 1.5 hour charge time. So from 0 to dead, it takes an hour and a half. On top of that, it has a 5-hour battery life. So if you take a look right here, 5-hour battery life, Bluetooth 5.0, 200 mAh for the controller. Not that that really matters because we already have the battery life and everything set. So battery life, size of the battery doesn't really matter at the end of the day since they already have a set battery life. Just so you guys know, it does have turbo. You have your screen function option, USB-C, of course, vibration. So that's good for people that like the whole vibrating effect. Personally, I turned that off with some of my controllers on the Switch, but to each their own. Anyhow, with that being said, let's hop right into it. So if you're unaware, Nintendo Switch controllers can in fact be, when I talk about the corded ones, can be connected to PCs also. And you can actually change it where the Nintendo Switch buttons pop up when you're playing Steam games. I can't say for anything else, but definitely for Steam games. So right outside of the box, let's talk about this. We do have a USB-C controller. Thank God it's not actually micro USB. It's USB-C finally. So that's that. Of course, with the box, it also comes with the instructions, which we will take. Actually, let's take a look at that right now, as a matter of fact. So it actually has two functions that allows you to sync this controller to either a Switch or a PC, or, well, technically it's three functions, or a phone. Now, with the phones, you might be using the Bluetooth function. With the Switch, you'll be using that sync function. With a PC, you'll more likely be using direct USB plug-in. So with that being said, let's see right here. So if you're syncing it to an Android device, you'll hold the home button and press A simultaneously, and they'll put it in sync mode for that. And if you're using it for the Nintendo Switch, you'll hold home and Y instead. So we will do both. So let's remember those instructions. Just in case I forget it, I'll just re-gloss over it. So it does come inside the bag when you purchase this device. Of course, I did use it myself already, but I figured I'll just package it up for, obvious unboxing reasons. So here's the controller right here. Got your little reset button right here if you ever need to use it, if the controller for any reason freezes or doesn't shut off. USB-C on top. You have your little indicators right here to let you know which connection it is. So it's controller 1, 2, 3, or 4. Of course, you have your top buttons, L and R. That doesn't change for the Switch. Control pad actually feels pretty good. You can move diagonally without any issues. I know some controller pads have it where it's very difficult to move diagonally. You have your analogs right here. Let me get this out of the view of the video. You have your home button. You have your plus and minus. The turbo button, I believe, right here. This is the screenshot button, so you can take your screenshots. I think every Switch controller pretty much has that. So there you are. Then your A, B, and X, Y. It actually feels comfortable. I know a lot of off-brand controllers tend to feel a little iffy, but this one actually isn't bad. And on top of that, this is a $15 product, so be aware of the fact that it's only $15. Granted, you could buy controllers for $20 and $30 and $40. It really, the prices vary. Some have better battery life. This one is only 5 hours, which, to be honest, isn't that long. But it's not as if you can't use it while it's plugged up and charging. You still can do it in corded mode if you chose to. Anyway, I've been rambling on long enough. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is go to the Bluetooth in my phone, and I am going to sync this to the controllers to show you how it actually works. So right now, this is in sync mode. What was it? Hold the home button and A, I believe. There we go. And right here, it says gamepad. So if you tap, whoops, I tapped the wrong thing. Just give it a second to go through its process and not pair. There we go. So if I go to gamepad, pairing, boom. So this is connected right now to the gamepad. So home button, as you can see, it does work. Move left and right, up and down. Put that up so you can go ahead and see that. There we are. So the controller is connected. So games that have controller support will work for this. Now, buyers beware. I will tell you this now. If you're trying to use this controller for Call of Duty, it does not work for that. If I use this controller for games like Dead Cells, Bloodstained, it did work. It will not work for all games. So just be aware of the fact that if you're buying it strictly for your phone to play like PC games and things like that, it is a possibility that a lot of these games won't work and the buttons won't necessarily be mapped. And unfortunately, I haven't found any software for this particular, like this doesn't come with software. So granted, there are ways to remap controllers, but realistically, this is for the Nintendo Switch. So again, if you're like me and you might play games like, I don't know, let's see what I have on here. Call of Duty, I play Pokemon, Albion Online, Symphony of the Night. You know what? I don't think Bloodstained is, let me try this one. Because I don't think I need to download, yep. See if I can do this real fast while it's syncing. Let's see. See if it lets me do it. All right. Come on, game. There we go. Use the controller on it. All right, so as you can see, the controller does work. Just put anything. All right. This is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. This is what, to me, started the series. Well, Castlevania been out for a million years, but this is the one that really made a difference in the genre. Can I run? There we go. The jump. All right. I don't know how to use any of its powers in this. All right, so it does work, as you can see. All right, so what we're going to go ahead and do right now is I want to unsync this controller real fast, and then we're going to sync it to a Nintendo Switch, and I'm going to show you that process. Let's see here. Where's that controller? Gamepad. Let's unpair it real fast. All right, so it's unpaired. Whoops. Wow, I smacked that. You know what? I'm not even going to edit that part out of the video. I just smacked my entire phone. All right, so right here, this is the Nintendo Switch, of course. So what we're going to go ahead and do, clean it off a little bit, is we're going to go to the controller connections. To change grip, yeah, I believe this is it. All right, so you hold home and Y for this one, and it puts it in syncing mode. And it's already connected that fast. Here we are. So the system is connected. So if you're using it for Android, you're going to hold home and A. If you're using it for, what's it called, Nintendo Switch, you're going to hold home and Y. Very simple sync process. Actually, it's one of the easiest sync process for a controller that I went through outside of just directly connecting it. Or you do have the option to connect it to USB-C and to connect it to the dock itself if your Switch is docked. And it will also connect automatically and sync to your Nintendo Switch. You do have multiple options to do that. Now, as for PC users, there aren't any actual options where it says it'll just sync to your PC, but I would try the home and A to put it in that mode to sync if you have a Bluetooth. But if it doesn't work for that, that's perfectly fine. You could just plug in a USB-C directly to the computer, and then that way it'll be corded and it will also work for PC. So to kind of answer the question whether this controller is actually worth using, this is how I look at things. You do have the option for the controllers that detach and then you can connect on the side of the phones. But if you're more so want that pro controller feeling, I will say that this actually feels, put it right here. It actually feels very responsive. It's a little clunky right here with the left, right, up, and down. But if you're using the analog, it actually does feel very responsive. Obviously, this wouldn't replace the authentic Nintendo Switch Pro controller in terms of how smooth it is. But for the price tag of $15, I can honestly say it's not bad. Though I do wish this kind of had more like a 10-hour, 8 to 10 hour battery life realistically, because 5 hours isn't that much. So if you're a kid and you're playing this and you're playing 5 hours a day, or you're paying a little bit less, you probably would have to charge this controller every day if you're playing a couple hours. or you might need to just plug it up to the cord, a long cord, while you're playing the game while it's charging, and then just unplug it when it's done. But it is surprisingly a very good controller. I was very surprised. I played Mario. I played a few games with it. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and start Death's Gambit for you guys. I wasn't going to try to make this video too long, but it is what it is. We're here now. Unfortunately, let me take this out and use the stand, which I should have probably used in the first place. Here we are. So, if you ever heard of Death's Gambit, awesome game. It's called Death's Gambit Afterlife. They remade it and added some, like, I'm not going to say DLC, but they added a lot more features to actually give it a full-fledged story now, unlike when it was originally released. And it's an awesome, awesome game. Multiple, I think I have 3 endings as a matter of fact. So, here we are. So let me just move around with the controller so you can see how responsive it actually is when using it. Boy, the Switch takes forever to load. If this was my PC, and tell you what it. All right. All right, I actually have 2 datas when it's a game. One where I'm on new. Okay, so it is very responsive. I don't know how it looks in a video for you guys, but yeah, it's actually very responsive. Using a controller uses left and right. It responds the moment that I touch it. Because I know what typically with the Bluetooth devices, sometimes they run a little slow. But you know what, surprisingly, this runs actually very, very well. I like it. This is definitely a controller that I could see myself using on a regular basis for my Switch. Granted, I do have the Pro Controller, and I think that lasts for, I don't know, 20, 40 hours or something like that. I forget the exact time. But again, that's how you slide. I forgot. All right, so yeah, it actually runs very, very well. So let me just go ahead and quit this game, and we just kind of do the part where we just talk about, like I said, is it worth $15? Which I kind of already answered that. Now, granted, there are other controllers out there that are substantially better than this one, and the price range are probably between 20 to 40 bucks. Again, this is Five Below. This is for the average person that you go into Five Below. Not all of them are going to sell it. Some will, and I'm 1,000,000% sure that if you see this product in a store, guess what? It's going to be very, very limited to how many that you see. They're probably going to get a certain amount, and they're going to sell out, and that's it. And if you're a Switch user and you like controllers like this, but you don't want to pay that $60, $70 price tag for some controllers that they sell, or the $20-something price tag, or $30 at GameStop that they sell for corded controllers that don't have Bluetooth technology in it, this is definitely worth it. Because not only is it made for the Switch, it also could be used for your Android phone. It could be used for your Apple device, worst case if you decide to use it. It also could be used for the PC, so you could switch this controller around and use it for multiple platforms. It looks nice. It feels good. It doesn't even feel cheaply made. Granted, you can tell that it's cheap when you use it. Like, you can tell that it's cheap. But once you use it, it doesn't affect the actual performance of the controller. And for the $15, I would have preferred if it was $10, but I'm not mad at it. I actually like it. I do suggest it. And if you can get past that 5 hours of battery life, which isn't too much, then it's a decent controller. So with that being said, that's the video. I don't know why this was 13 minutes. In truth, it should have been 5 or 6, but it is what it is. And I will see you guys in the next one. So like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff.